I'm back. Bo, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, good. And hopefully Twitter can hear me. Thank you guys for sticking with me. My mic just broke in the middle of me doing that. I've had the mic for like a month and a half, 2 months. Damnation. Anyway, we're back. Very excited to be here. I am with the aforementioned Bo underscore Mick Big Time. Welcome, sir, to the DFS Money Shot. So glad you're here tonight.
It's my pleasure. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to I'm gonna take a victory over you head to head tomorrow in a demoralizing fashion. I'm not pulling any punches. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it old fashioned way.
My lineup's just going to be trouncing touchdowns after touchdown on you, and then we'll just see who gets the money shot, and whose
Yeah.
chin it glances off of. We both have a lot of beardage to cause some
Right on the
problems.
button. Right
Yeah,
on the button.
it's going to be intense. So let me talk to you guys for a second about why we're here, how we got here, what's going on with this whole situation. Why are we here? That's always the most important question for any activity you're engaged in. What's the purpose of this? Well, last year I watched the great Pete Overzet go head to head with Josh Hermsmeyer in a last $100 that Pete had, and he ended up winning that and going on to win a couple more $100. It was a great story. Comeback feeling, good story of the year. I saw it as a great opportunity to do this every single week. It was so great. The content was so great. And immediately, I thought of my man Bo McBigtime, the author of the famous, world famous hot box batch hot sauce. That if you haven't had some yet, are you really living? Are you really even alive? Have you ever tasted the good fire?
So
I don't know.
no, you're missing out on an entire different universe of flavor.
I'm just so excited that I'm in several leagues with this good man now. And I'm going to take his money, like in his home league. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take his money this week. And this is the format of the show. Every week I challenge somebody for a DFS pot of $10 to $109. It's kind of just how DraftKings sets it up. We're gonna go head to head. We're gonna kind of share our backstory about our strategies and kind of how we came to this position as DFS wannabe experts or whatever, just fans enjoying each other's company. What we're gonna do also is little by little reveal our teams and kind of talk about juxtapose who's got the edge, advantage, why we like our guy, why we picked him, what our strategy was in the big picture. So I'll give a little bit of my background, but we'll jump in and give some of his. Last year I was stuck in a 80-hour a week work week that was just killing me. It was grinding my soul out, and I didn't plan on doing any of it. I just started writing DFS in October. It just kind of that came out of my soul. Just a song sprang forth from my soul. Started writing it. Bought a website. Started going in on Twitter pretty hard and became nimble with numbers. And Scott Simpson was kind of born in a good way. Long story short, my love for DFS has only grown as I wrote and wrote and wrote. This year, Nimble with Numbers has expanded. We have hired Bo McBigtime himself to come on to be a staff writer this year. So excited. He's part of the team. And we're going big places this year. We're winning a lot of money. And so we thought we'd start off against each other in this head-to-head kind of situation. But Bo, let's give the people a little bit about yourself. Why are you here? What are you up to? Why are you facing off against the Nimble with Numbers?
So I think this is really the truth of the matter is I'm week one because I'm technically still a probationary employee of Nimble with Numbers. I mean, I haven't been on staff for very long. And so, I mean, if I beat you too bad, you have cause to just cut me
Oh
loose
no,
and
never,
no
never.
harm, no foul. And you don't have to pay, you don't have to give me benefits. I don't have to have my own private bathroom. So yeah, you just want to get it out of the way. If I'm great and I lose to you like you want to, then you can keep me around. I'll just be that annoying little brother that you always had probably before, and you just have another one.
Well, I mean, to me, a little brother who I think has a real nice DFS edge that I can learn from and grow from. And so the truth is, I just brought Bo in ultimately to help myself and to help him and to help all of us to kind of get better. And he's the kind of guy whose perspective I respect and I like a lot, and I want to grow and learn from. And so if I could put a notch in my belt, of beating my guy Bo, the hot sauce king. So that would just make me feel like a bazillion bucks to start the week. After, by the way, different podcast, but after on Thursday I went 6 for 6 in my prop bets. It would just be the cherry on top. After I win the million and do all that other stuff, it's just that taking that 20 from you is going to feel real good. So
Make sure you just remember the little people that got you there.
well, hey, listen. this is how I feel. If I won the million, we won the million. You know what I mean? Let's get
Oh
those
yeah.
snowmobiles. Let's get those RVs. You know, let's get whatever, whatever ATVs. We'll get in there. You know, we'll get the
Hey, I've
paraphernalia.
never once seen anybody frown on a jet ski, so we're doing that.
Right, right. Yeah, we'll buy a lake if we need to. That's where we're trying to go with this thing. So let's get into what we're looking at right now. I'm gonna do a little share screen. Hopefully this does work. And okay, here we go. Yeah, we are. We're on the money shot, and this is on a boat. Can you see it, or are you not able to see it, my good man?
I'm not able to see it, but I kind of know what it looks like.
You
So
know what's up there, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
up here
I got my lineup in front of me. So
yeah, he's good to go. So what we have here is the DFS Money Shot homepage. Each week I'm going to be pulling this up and kind of using it to reveal our lineups. I got myself over here. I'll be stagnant on this side of the board, of course. Let me move my little head over. See, I think the problem is right now my body is covering, my little head's covering part of this. I need a producer. I need to hire a money producer. You know what I mean?
I don't do that.
You don't? No. I know. I mean, we're not big dogs yet. We can't do that kind of stuff yet.
I barely know how to log into this laptop.
We're working on it. Anyway, anywho, I don't think that worked, but we're killing it. All right. So what I have in front of us is the head-to-head lineup. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna little by little kind of open them up and talk about our guys. And so I'm gonna start by just pulling it down, and I got my QB here. I'm gonna put my QB out for the world to see. I'm gonna put your QB out for the world to see, and we're gonna talk about it. I got my guy Derek Carr of the
Where'd you find him?
Las Vegas. I found him somewhere in a trash heap being revived by Marcus Mariota. I am going for a cheap upside. You'll see where we're going here. What about you, Gardner Minshew? He's done drinking his Bud Light for the week, or how's that turning out for him?
So here's what's going to happen is if you lose to a lineup with Gardner Minshew, you'll never feel worse in your entire life. I mean, I might feel the same if you beat me with Derek Carr. I mean, I was not expecting that.
No, I'm going for the jugular too, man. I'm going for the big upside here, so that when I win, I can just be like, called it. No one else called it. I called it. But that's just me. Here's the thing. I like this play because I feel like there's going to be a lot of garbage time in this game. And that's just kind of my thought on this. A lot of garbage time where Minshew is going to have an opportunity to kind of redeem his 3 interceptions he threw in the first half and maybe throw 2 touchdowns. And so you might get a whole 15 to 16 points off of him, which would be just, I mean, good for you, man. I'm happy for you.
You think the Colts defense is any good? I mean, they're all right.
I don't think they're that great, but I think that the Jags are just such a dumpster fire on defense that offense is they're going to get tired. Everyone's going to get tired. I mean, the coach is going to get tired from talking so much, and everyone's just going to want to nap. And
so, you know what's going to happen? I think this is what's going to happen is Minshew's going to look like dog shit the whole game. Yeah. But he's going to, just like on Thursday, he's going to end up with more points than Phillip Rivers will in that same game on a losing effort. I mean, you're talking about garbage time. Gardner Minshew is going to be the king of garbage time all year long.
He will.
His defense can't stop anybody. They're going to throw the rock 80% of the plays.
Listen, they got rid of their best offensive player in Leonard Fournette. I'm not disagreeing with you. Listen, I
most used. I wouldn't say best.
No, well, most used. I would say, yeah, not best. I would just say their best weapon as a percentage of how their offense ran. Their most used is a good way to say that. Speaking of most,
they got Jay Gruden now. They're going to throw the rock.
Way different. Speaking of most used, let's go down to the next play, and I'm going to pull off my guy and just reveal that it is Mr. Austin Eckler, and then you got Mr. Josh Jacobs. So let's talk a little bit about this week. These are 2 running backs that are priced relatively in the same range. Josh Jacobs is we're all DraftKings. If you didn't get the DraftKings logo and stuff, so we're just talking DraftKings. We got a 6,800 for Josh Jacobs, which is a great value. I love that, by the way. I'm money shot on me right now. But then I got Austin Eckler for 7,000. How do you see both those guys turning out this week?
Pretty similarly, I think Jacobs they'll have the same amount of touches. Eckler more on the receiving side. Jacobs will probably have more rushing attempts. but I see Jacobs as a higher probability of touchdown scoring than Eckler. So for a head-to-head, I was looking for the sheer volume that I can expect from Jacobs in a game that's probably going to be back and forth with a good pace, like you said with Carr. I just expect the Raiders to run the ball a little bit more and feature somebody they know and trust.
Yeah. No, I really like that play a lot, and I think what I like about it is that Gruden is a guy who sticks with his guys. You know, if you're his guy, then you're going to be successful because you're going to get volume, and I think that's the key with Josh Jacobs. I could see him getting 30 touches. I could see him getting maybe 3 or 4 targets, getting 25 rushes, some goal line work. My guess would be upside for him this week would be the 25-point range. I mean, maybe that's pushing it a little bit, but I could see
Spider
that
two,
happening.
why banana?
I could see, yeah, yeah, Pinocchio, Black Widow, ham sandwich, whatever.
Give the ball to Jacobs.
Right, I like it. And on the Eckler side, there's some uncertainty in that offense. You get Tyrod Taylor coming in. He doesn't throw the ball a lot in his career. He's had kind of that 3,000 to 3,500 yard kind of range is the top side for him, which is low. He's not pushing the rock downfield that much. So I do see Austin Eckler as the main RB1, of course, there, but then getting a lot of the flares, the little dumps, just the little save me passes as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Eckler doesn't get 6-7 targets in this game. My thought would be 5 receptions, maybe 45 yards. Could pick up a touchdown in this game, receiving or rushing. So I like Eckler as well in that same 22-point range. What do you think about him?
There's a lot of Eckler in my other lineups. I think the only difference for me on this particular build was just the format, head-to-head. I'm looking for a stable base of volume. And I'm a little bit hesitant because Eckler's with a new quarterback who doesn't dump off the ball as much. I mean, nobody dumps the ball off more than Rivers does.
No.
So, I mean, with their price similarly, their expected points total is about the same. I'm just looking for that little bit to tip it over in this particular format. Head-to-head is way different from everything else, but I have a lot of Eckler in my other builds.
I like it. Well, let's
Cincinnati's defense is awful.
It's not the best. Let's go down to our next set of RBs, and I have Todd Gurley at 6,100, and you have Boston Scott at 4,800. Quite the value play there. There is no volume that you have to worry about when it comes to head-to-head. Who cares what the percentages is? Play the best plays.
Right.
I like that pick in Boston Scott, especially with Sanders being declared out earlier this evening. You were kind of seeing the tea leaves, reading the tea leaves. Talk about Gurley versus Boston Scott.
So I love Gurley this week. I mean, I just didn't have enough salary to put him in that one spot with the rest of my guys coming later. Gurley this week is, just I bet pretty higher ownership than people think, because he's going to get a lot of receiving looks. He's going to get a lot of carries. I mean, they don't have any other professional running backs really on their roster in Atlanta. I love Gurley, especially week 1. In that Seattle's defense isn't that good. I mean, they're okay. They're middle of the pack. But I think your volume of touches for Gurley is going to be a lot. And so, I mean, he's always got a nose for the end zone. He's going to find it at least once.
Right. Well, I like the play too. And if you would like to bet a lot of your savings on a bet that I think I can guarantee these savings. Like the FDIC insures money up to $100,000. I guarantee Todd Gurley over under receiving yards in the game against Seattle, which I think they'll be trailing in, which will, I think, kind of push a little bit of the game script towards, kind of passes for Gurley, screenplays for Gurley. What do you think the over-under is if you don't know on DraftKings right now?
If I was to take a guess, I would say it's in the 39 to 45 area.
You need to half that and then half that a little bit more quarter. It's 17.5. 17
for receiving yards?
Yeah. It's my
Matt Ryan's going to throw the ball like 48 times.
It's my smash play tomorrow on my podcast with Jason Sarney. It's called the Profits, and what we do is we take these stupid numbers like 17.5, we expose them, and then we say, bet a G. And I mean, to me, honestly, that's the play. 17.5, unless he gets hurt dramatically on the flight or the walk or the I don't know, man. I just feel
Or
like
if he
that's
pulls a grandma's boy and grabs the hot pan with both of his hands,
right.
and before the game starts.
I can't even see it, man. I'm stupefied. I'm
Yeah, well,
stupefied.
then that's how you do props. You kind of guess what your number would be, what you think it should be, what you would
Right.
predict it to be, and if it's way above what the actual over under is, then you smash.
You make a move. Well, speaking of smash, let's talk about our wide receiver. I got Allen Robinson. You got DJ Shark pairing it up with the stack with Minshew. Didn't see that coming, by the way. No,
Yeah,
tell us about that.
So DJ Chark is he's a beast, man. He's a freak athlete. I thought I was pretty smart last year when he was on my dynasty team, and I thought it was really cute because I watched him blow up the first week before Foles broke his shoulder in half, and then Chark was like this freak of nature that everybody was high on, and so I sold high and traded him away for Bobby Trees and I think somebody else, I can't remember. But I thought I was a genius, and everybody else thought I was a genius for selling high on Chark, and the guy keeps producing.
Yeah.
And then now your game script for the Jaguars games is way different from last year. You're not running the ball nearly as much. Different coordinator, a quarterback who came from Wazoo, who throws the ball 80 times a game without breaking a sweat. They're going to be trailing in that game because the Colts offense is just really good. It's for me that's a garbage time, and it's going to be like Rivers to Keenan Allen. It's just going to be force feeding him.
I like it. I think it's a great play. As somebody who owns several Minshew DJ Shark stacks in Dynasty, with Minshew being my second QB, of course, I'm ready to flex this weekend as well. So if that comes back to bite me in the DFS matchup,
it's my fault.
It's not. It's okay because my next guy has got wheels for days and he's got scoring upside, and that is he's your next guy too. We both have the same next guy. Let's talk about F1 himself, Mr. Terry, Scary Terry. They call him. What do you like in him?
Same kind of thing. It's like you have a team with a defense that's atrocious against an offense that's pretty good. I mean, they're playing Philly. Philly's going to put up points with Carson Wentz. If he's got two legs under his body, he's going to throw the ball. He's going to be accurate. He's going to make good decisions. And they're going to be way up on Washington because Washington can't stop anybody.
Right.
And so you're going to force Haskins to find his guy. And I mean, they've been the great chemistry since Ohio State. I mean, another freak athlete. Terry McLaurin is an awesome wide receiver. Yeah. Like just watching him play, it's so fluid, it's so smooth.
His route running, he's not.
You can't cover him.
No, he's going to get open, and that's the thing that's so interesting about him is that he's their number one weapon. He's the guy you need to stop. It's like almost like an Antonio Brown situation where Antonio Brown, there's three guys that try to get in the way of his route, and you can't do it, and he gets away, and he's behind you. So I love that play for both of us, and that guy might be around later if you stick around for our next podcast, which will be the Millie Maker podcast. We're just debuting 3 podcasts in a row. Me and Bo.
Let me check my schedule.
We're just gonna blow Twitter up and blow ourselves up too. Maybe we'll see how this goes.
It's either gonna make them love us or hate us.
I love everybody. If you're watching or you have watched any of my podcasts, I love you. Everybody.
I hate everybody out there, but it's a good thing. You don't want me to like you.
Well, let's talk about my next wide receiver and yours. I like yours. You've got another double stack attack. I've revealed my stack attack. You've got Laviska Shenault Jr., speed merchant.
Big
he is a beast. Pete Overzet, by the way, loves him as well. So tell us about your double stack attack, my friend.
Well, a true stack is more than 2 players anyway. So I decided that I was going to get the volume floor with Chark, and I was going to get the big play ability of Laviska Shenault Jr. I saw the guy just run through the Pac-12 the last couple of years. The guy is just he's a freak. He's short, stocky, but he's strong. He's very, very fast.
Yes.
So they're going to run a lot of gadget plays with him. They really don't have a true running back. I mean, James Robinson was undrafted. I'm not trusting him.
Right.
They have Chris Thompson. He's kind of a scat back, but he's not that athletic. He's just there. He's got great hands. He's always open. But I think they're going to put Laviska in the slot. They're going to put him in the backfield. They're going to run trick plays around him. And so, I mean, he busts one big one, and you're going to be crying because, I mean, if Minshew throws 3 touchdowns and 2 are to Chark and 1's to Laviska for 80 yards, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be weeping. I'm not sure if you can see my stack attack, but I've got Mr. Henry Ruggs the third, another rookie. Yes, pairing up with Derek Carr. I would not play Derek Carr naked. I think you have to maximize his upside. And for me, that's Henry Ruggs. His over under tomorrow, another free money if you would like to make some money, if you're listening to this, is 3.5 receptions. You don't draft someone in the first round as John Gruden and then throw the ball to them 5 times. Against a team like Carolina,
No.
which he might throw the ball to him 5 times on the first drive, and so for me, he's a smash play. He's $1 million maker this week. I feel like he's going to be in the million maker.
It's the same principle with our wide receiver 3s are carbon copies of one another. If you look at it, I mean, Ruggs has a better resume as a SEC superstar playing for Bama, but I mean, they're both really fast. They're both really versatile. We're looking at upside.
Both of them, right? Lotto tickets, and I think that's where you have to have that tie-in with your quarterback because that's what's going to stretch the field a little bit in some of these head-to-heads and make it a step above. Well, we've got tight ends, flex, ND. So before we do that, I just want to say this podcast and every other podcast that you ever see me in is always sponsored by Bose Hot. Oh, actually, I was going to say it, but I think I can say it better myself if I just kind of. Hold on a second. I've got it. I think I can just do it. Let me see. I think.
Let me just see if it's still in my pocket.
It might still be here. It might not be. No, it's not. It's not here. That's fine. I've got it.
I can do the sounder.
It's Bose Hot Box Batch Hot Sauce. That shit's hot. And every single podcast ever that I'm a part of will be sponsored by that because that is the best hot sauce ever. Period. Full stop. So just
hotboxbatch.com. Get yourself a bottle of hot sauce, some barbecue rub. There's also a link to Viridian Global for apparel with hot sauce's logo on it. Yeah, Hotbox apparel. Come on, guys.
Come on.
We're going all out.
I got stickers, bro. I got it. I mean, listen, I'm not special or anything, but I'll show you what I'm rocking. I've got a bunch of these bad boys. There's the hot box. It's on my body. It's all over. I love it. It's one of my favorite things ever. It made my life way better. So back to making my life way better. Let's talk tight ends. And sometimes tight ends are overlooked, but I think we both made some good tight ends. But we have some money left. Let's see. I'm going with Mr. Mark Andrews, and you're going with Mr. George Kittle. The top 2 tight ends on the board. One is priced at $7,200. One is $6,000 even. What do you think about this head-to-head matchup here?
It's interesting because, Kittle for me in a GPP is off limits because he's just going to be crazy high ownership.
Yes.
The price is high, but it's not egregious. And the Cardinals, they drafted Isaiah Simmons, who's awesome in coverage, but he's going to be tested. Kittle's just awesome.
He's a man beast.
He's gonna get volume. He's super athletic. He's monster after the catch, and Jimmy G is going to be looking for him. They got cadavers playing wide receiver in San Francisco now. So you have a giant number 85 there. You have a bunch of little backs that are not that durable, and you have wide receivers that are limping around. Who else are you going to throw to?
I throw all the targets to him. I actually predicted that he had upwards of maybe 10 receptions this week, a touchdown, 88 yards, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's not his game script. But I think my man Mark Andrews has the best chance out of any tight end to get 2 touchdowns this week against Cleveland. So, I think both are the 2 best tight ends to play this week.
I think you're going to find out very soon that I'm thinking along the same lines.
Well, we're good men,
Yeah, Andrews is a stud too, and you got to figure a top tight end like that is a kind of a mid-range to back-end wide receiver 1 numbers.
Yes.
If you hit it, and so for that price discount, you're not paying $7,500 for a Julio Jones or something like that. You're paying $7,000 and below for a top flight tight end that might score even more.
I love it. I love it. Well, we got the flex and the D, and then we're done. So let's see where we're at with the flex. For me, I have got Deshaun Jackson, and you have got Mark Andrews. So look at that. You were holding something back there, you mofo. Look at that. He likes him
I hinted
too.
at it.
He knew. He likes Mark Andrews. What do you think about D-Jax this week? We're not doing a volume ownership thing. Who cares? What do you think about his upside?
Upsides through the roof, as always. Wentz loves throwing it deep to him. He's never gonna not be fast. He's a game-breaking down the field receiver when he's on the field, and he's gonna be on the field. So I mean, you have to give him at least a puncher's chance of taking one deep, and Wentz will definitely be looking for him.
Guess who's not going to be on the field?
Miles Sanders.
Well, yeah, Miles Sanders, but for the Redskins, or I'm sorry, the Washington football team. Excuse me. That
is so racist.
I know. I've only lived here 41 years and heard it every day of my life on Sports Talk Radio. Shout out the Junkies, the Washington football team. Guess who's not playing for them?
A good player on defense besides Chase Young.
A starting corner who's supposed to shadow Deshaun Jackson. He was a player who played for Kansas City previously. Will Fuller. He was an old Redskin. I'm sorry, he was a Redskin then. Now he's a Washington football team member. Back then called the Redskins. So, he's back, but he's not playing. He's not playing. Thank you. He's not playing, and the I don't know, 5th round rookie or 5th round. There's nobody who's covering Deshaun Jackson now. It's gonna be a free for all, and I expect him to go off. So here's
what I'm worried about with Deshaun Jackson, is that 5th round rookie is going to be better in coverage than Kendall Fuller ever was.
Well, yeah.
Kendall Fuller is the slowest corner in the history of the league.
Well, he's a slot corner, so
yeah.
He's
still quick,
think
but he's not.
I still think he is just. I don't think anybody can get with Deshaun Jackson on any team. Honestly, I love that guy. If he can stay healthy, he is a machine who is built for speed. So. I'm going to see. I like your Mark Andrews, though. That's a strong play for sure. This got interesting real quick. Let's go to the last, to the defense. I'm going into the Chargers. You're going into the Ravens. Yeah. I like it. So I went with a little bit of the low volume, $2,800 play. You went big time with the 3,100. Talk to me about what you see happening in the Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield.
I have the most of the Chargers defense also in a lot of my builds, because I mean you get a rookie starting week 1, you're gonna lick your chops a little bit there, especially with an elite secondary like they have. Yeah. But with the Ravens, I'm looking at a defense that was really good last year and got even better. They added some new pieces there along the defensive line. They traded for another Jaguar that was Calais Campbell, and that's huge.
Like yeah.
Baker Mayfield is good when he's clean in the pocket. He's really accurate. He's a solid player, but I don't think he's going to be clean in this game. And I think they'll try to lean on the running game with Chubb, and they'll hope to bust a big run with Chubb, and they'll try to run swings and little angle routes to Kareem Hunt. But that defense in the Ravens, they're going to push the envelope and force Baker into some classical Baker Mayfield mistakes. And especially I like to pair the Ravens defense against mistake-prone offenses, especially because they're the Ravens and they're going to run the rock a ton on the other side. So they're not even going to be on the field more than half the game.
I like what you're saying, my friend. I like what you're putting up, picking up, and I'm putting down. What do you think the odds are now for us when you walk back the teams? Who do you give the edge to? What are you thinking when you see them kind of laid bare before you? What's your thought?
Pretty even, actually. I'm looking at. Yeah, we both have a lot of upside, and we both have some pretty stable volume foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't really say there's a heavy favorite either direction, because if my dart throw hits, then I'm going to win, and if yours hits, you're going to win.
Right. Yeah, I feel like we both have some RB stability there. We both also have some wide receivers that could jump, and I think it's going to come down to those rookies. So whose rookie's better, Ruggs or Chenault? That's kind of what it might come down to in the end on this board.
Yeah.
I do like Mark Andrews. It's cool that we've got two of the same players. Mark Andrews might be around later when we do the Millie Maker show. I don't know. Might be some crossover with some of these players. There's a lot of good players on both of these teams. You know what? Do me a favor. If you listen to this, hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Nimble W Numbers on Twitter. My man is at Bo_Mick Big Time. Talk to either one of us. Say who you got this week in the DFS. I mean, it's the inaugural, the DFS Money Shot head-to-head show here with Nimble with Numbers, Scott Simpson, my partner in crime, Bo Mick Big Time. Any things you want to say on the way out? How much you're gonna beat me down, or is it we're kind of even now? We kind of squared up, and we're looking to just kind of stand toe to toe.
So when you post the poll to have people pick them, it should just be Bo by less than 25 or Bo by more than 25.
Oh man, this is gonna be good. As soon as we're going to take a break because we're about to rerun another show called The Millie Maker. We're going to put that show up here in just a minute too. But I'm going to go just eat some hot sauce because that take was so fire. I got to come back spitting some fire. I got to have a few bottles out too. I can't come not having the bottles out. My bad, Bo Mick Big Time. I've got them all open. I got a bunch of them. So we're going to be right back. And if you have not gone and gotten your My Sex Pillow, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, what are you doing? Make a better.
You're working too hard.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So, all right, we're out. We will come back in a little bit with the Millie Maker. Hopefully see you then.